All my tame and all my wild, all my man and all my child, all my faults and all my scars.
That's right. And here is the afternoon action. Here's Carll, whose limo has yet to arrive. He had to stop at the 99-cent drive-thru, I'm told, but he'll be along shortly. But here, right now, is Melissa Carper.
Hey, Sandy. Good to be here.
From the Carper family, I presume.
That's right. Carper family played here, I think we were discussing this maybe 10 years ago or something like that.
Not here.
Oh, right, in your old building, not at this new building. That's true, but for KPFT.
On Lovett.
Okay, all right, gotcha. Yeah, it's been a while. I wouldn't even remember where we were, but...
Nobody did.
Yeah.
And we still don't, is the beauty of the whole thing. And, I'm taking up the mic here, but who's going to be doing the talking this afternoon, the interviewing, the hard work behind the mic? The lovely Susan Darrow.
Hey, we're just so excited to have Hayes Carll and Melissa Carper coming in the studio with us today. Going to be a great afternoon.
Well, Howard, what's going on at KPFT today?
That's what's going on at KPFT.
Check.
You're listening to Border Radio. I'm your host, Susan Darrow. And you know what, ladies and gentlemen? I think the holiday season has officially begun. It is December 1st. And just in case you needed any other indication that the holiday season was happening, there's a special event happening tonight and tomorrow night at the Heights Theater. It's the Grateful for Christmas Tour, presented by the one, the only, our hometown hero, Hayes Carll, and with so many special guests featuring the wonderful and talented Melissa Carper opening the show and joining in during the show. And today we have the honor and privilege of having Hayes Carll and Melissa Carper in the studio with us right here at KPFT Houston. Hayes Carll, Melissa Carper, welcome.
Thanks, Susan.
Yeah, thank you. It's
to
great
be
to be
here.
here. What an intro.
Well, it is our pleasure to have both of you here. I know it's your first time at our new home at 4504 Caroline Street. What do you think?
Beautiful so far. Yeah,
So nice.
there's
Good job, y'all.
more room than the old one, so that's an upgrade.
Yeah, you can actually fit your entire band in like a horn section in Studio B now. So we'll just keep that in mind for next time.
Mm-hmm.
But maybe not. Well, Hayes, coming back to the Heights Theater, you were actually the very first, the first act. Technically, John Evans was the first act, but you and John Evans opened for you as the headliner for the very first folks opening the Heights Theater when it opened the doors a few years ago. And now you're returning for the Grateful for Christmas Tour. What is it like to come back to the Heights Theater?
It's always cool. I had forgotten that we were the first show there. It's a beautiful room, and it's great to be home. And I've got, it's fun for me. My mom's first date was at the Heights Theater.
Wow.
And I don't know what year that would have been, but a boy took her to the movies. And so yeah, it's a cool room with a lot of history, and it's always great to be home and to see my folks and my brother and a lot of friends.
And your dad actually is invoked in one of your Christmas songs, "The Grateful for Christmas," the title song of the tour.
Yeah, he's in it, and it's a bit of a sore point because he's I kill him off.
Oh.
in the song. I have lots of songs about my mom. Or where I reference my mom, but I only have one where my dad's mentioned, and I kill him in the song. But he's alive and well, and has gotten over his disappointment of being written out.
Well, there's always time to add him in another song.
Yeah,
And will they be at the Heights Theater tonight or tomorrow night?
they will. I think they're going to be there both nights.
Oh,
so,
well, that's the right thing for parents to do.
yeah.
So, tell us about the Grateful for Christmas Tour. Now, this isn't just any show, because you've got first of all the wonderful Melissa Carper. Melissa, thank you so much for being here. We can't wait to hear you tonight.
Yeah, thanks for having me as well.
So Melissa will open the show and then join in during the show. But tell us about your other special guests who'll be there.
Well, my wife, Allison Moore, is going to be with us, and Emily Gimble is going to be playing piano, but she's also a fantastic singer. Mm-hmm. We're going to give her a few moments to shine, and I think she may be playing with with Melissa.
That's right. She'll
as
be in my
well.
band.
Yeah, and then Rebecca will be with us on fiddle and playing with Melissa as well. And so we've got lots of talented folks who are singer-songwriters in their own right. And so for me, this was just, I used to do holiday tours every year, but there was nothing really significant. I mean, there was nothing really connected to the holiday other than the time of year we were touring. But and Houston was a part of that every year for 15 years. But I felt like getting together. It's not going to be a full-on Christmas show, but we do have some holiday music and some fun stuff, and we're trying to make it a special evening to signify coming back home and giving people a chance to gather and hopefully connect and have a really positive time.
Well, you have a lot of holiday memories in Texas, right? And you talked a little bit on social media about celebrating in Waco, where your family's, or part of your family's from.
Yeah. My mom's from Houston and my dad's from Waco, and they met in Waco. They both went to Baylor, and so I spent a lot of my childhood going up to Waco, and I was telling the anecdote of we would have these large family gatherings, like dozens and dozens of folks and multi generations, and my great grandmother, Mama, lived with my Nana and Papa, her daughter and son-in-law, and my Mama lived to be 101, and my grandmother lived to be 104, and so I've got good genes going for me, and they would. My Mama was a little blind. Or a lot blind, and she used to call me Little Dutch Girl because she couldn't see me beyond my blonde hair, and then my grandmother, I was laughing about it because it's family lore so my tongue is apparently larger than it's supposed to be. I don't really know how to phrase this. It's too big for my mouth, and when I was a kid, it would just sort of hang out, and so my grandmother was very concerned about my well-being, and but it all turned out all right. But anyway, she would, classic kind of grandmother, would walk around making everybody pose for photos, and the Lyle Lovett song that you just played was one that I loved so much. It was one of the first records that I really leaned into as a singer-songwriter, and the first artist was Lyle. He had such a unique voice and perspective, and I related to it so much, and so I would play that song at these family gatherings, and so I appreciate you playing it there. It's one of my favorites.
Well, you got a chance to tour with Lyle earlier this year.
Yeah, the last couple of years I've gotten to do a lot of shows with him, and it's just been a real it's been amazing for me, because I used to, not only was he a huge influence, and really one of the first people that showed me what was possible as a songwriter in a lane that or in a style that I felt was relatable to me and approachable with my whatever limited talent I had. But just being able to tell your story and use your own language and it not be like anybody else, I really, that inspired me. And I used to work at the Pavilion in the Woodlands, and he would play every year, and I would watch those shows, and like I said, I would sing his stuff all through my teenage years. My mom has a video cassette of me singing that before I went off to school. And anyway, so to get to play shows with him, and he's so generous. He's brought me up on stage every time to in the middle of his show to sing. And the other day I talked about how important that song was to me. So he said, "Well, let's do that," but without any practice. I may have flubbed a few lyrics, but it's just been really amazing for me to full circle. I'm 47 now, and to 30 plus years after getting to be inspired by this artist, to get to share the stage with him and be friends with him, and sing the songs with him that were so influential to me, has been incredible.
We're talking with Hayes Carll and Melissa Carper, who will be at the Heights Theater tonight. The Grateful for Christmas Tour kicks off this evening and tomorrow night. Since both of y'all have your guitars, can you play us a song?
Sure. Well, we'd all head to Waco for the birth of our Lord. my folks and my brother in an 82 Ford. We pull in the driveway filled up with cars, old aunts and old uncles. Lord, I see stars. Then we'd run to the kitchen, you know, kids and their games. Play fetch with old Buster, call each other names. Aunt Betty'd be singing while supper was cooking. We'd unwrap the gifts when no one was looking. And let's all gather round. Grandpa'll say the blessing. Aunt Jane, she fell asleep. Mary Kay, she burned the dressing. But we got all of our friends and family here, and I'm grateful for Christmas this year. This year we're in Houston. Let's all get together. Man, I almost saw snow. Can you believe this weather? Who's gonna be here? Uncle Frank can't make it. And since Pawpaw died, I don't know if Nana can take it. Well, there's presents a sweater, and the pie don't taste right, and Dad and the TV are starting to fight. I wish I had a drink or maybe a dozen. Lord, what I'd give for one good-looking cousin. And let's all gather round. Dad, you say the blessing. Aunt Jane, she fell asleep. Mary Kay, she burned the dressing. But we got all of our friends and family here, and I'm grateful for Christmas this year. Hey, Mom, how you doing? Yeah, I miss him too. No, the Christmas lights don't make your hair look blue. The cousins ain't coming. John's overseas. My wife had somewhere she needed to be. But the ladies from the church said they might stop by, and I brought you this picture. Oh, Mama, don't cry. Let's play cards and talk on the past. I know, Mom, it goes by too fast. Let's all gather round. I guess I'll say the blessing. Aunt Jane, she fell asleep, and Mary Kay forgot the dressing. But we got all of our friends and family here, and I'm grateful for Christmas this year. Yeah, I'm grateful for Christmas this year.
Melissa, it is so great to have you back at KPFT. You've been to KPFT in our previous home with the Carper family, but this is your first visit here, and gosh, you have done some fantastic recordings. Ramblin' Soul is your latest album, correct?
That's right.
And this was a little bit of a departure from your first album. Tell us a little bit about that.
Oh, Ramblin' Soul. I guess that album has more R&B and some soul in it, and it has country and jazz, which primarily my first album, Daddy's Country Gold, was primarily country and jazz, so has a little bit of everything. But yeah, definitely, I wanted to bring out some of my my blues influences with the second album.
Well, you grew up playing upright bass and singing with your family band. And how young were you, or how old were you when you first took the stage?
Well, we started the country family band when I was 12, and that's when we played a bunch of bars, and mostly like American Legions and Elks and Moose Lodges and that kind of thing. But before that, we did gospel and actually a lot of Christmas music for like church and rest homes. So we did that when I was probably just 5 or so when we started.
So are you bringing out any of the rest home repertoire tonight? The Christmas songs?
I remember me and my sister would sing Away in the Manger together. I did not brush up on that for this show.
Oh, there's still sound check.
There's still time.
We're saving that for down the road.
That's right.
Yeah. Oh,
by the time we're playing Paramount in Austin, maybe we'll have that one worked up.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, we'll think of this as the opening show where you're going to get all the good stuff out. That's what I'm thinking. You save all the good stuff for Houston. I know that. Well, so now you're from Nebraska originally, and tell us a little bit about what it was growing up in the music scene in Nebraska.
Yeah, I grew up in North Platte, Nebraska, which is western Nebraska, a town of 25,000, so there wasn't a whole lot going on. We luckily did have a school orchestra, and I got to start in the orchestra program when I was just in 4th grade, so I started on a upright bass and on a half-size upright bass when I was in 4th grade. So, and that was great, and I had by the time I got to junior high, I had a orchestra teacher who actually played bass. That was his main instrument, so he gave me lessons, and he kind of got me ready for college and auditioning for college. So that was great. That all was able to happen for me in North Platte, Nebraska, plus the family band. So,
And the folks who don't know or aren't familiar with Melissa, she plays upright bass while singing.
That's
beautifully
amazing to
well.
me.
It's so cool to watch, and it's such an amazing sound. And we were just rehearsing yesterday, and I was listening back to it, and I was telling Allison it's just the best sound that there is, upright bass. So I'm really excited to get to play music with you.
Same here. Yeah.
Well, we're just so glad that you're here and that you're opening the show, and then also part of the Grateful for Christmas main event. Can you play us a song?
And I think I'll do one off of Daddy's Country Gold. This is I Almost Forgot About You. I'm going to attempt some mouth trumpet here. I almost forgot about you. I almost forgot about you. I was having such a very nice time that I almost forgot about you. There you are, creeping in. Nothing new, just like breathing in. If I could only forget the love that we knew, I could almost forget about you. The winter turns to spring, and when summer always brings a bright, blessed day with blossoms anew, and I almost forget about you. I don't remember when we met. There's a lot of things that I forget. If I could only forget to remember you, I could almost forget about you. Memories I don't want anymore. New love, I don't have the heart to entertain you. My, how the years have gone by. I almost forgot how to cry, but I still can recall the mornings with you and the look in your sleepy blue eyes. I almost forgot you again. Then I remembered, my friend, if I could only forget the love that we knew, I could almost forget about you.
Melissa Carper live on KPFT. Oh, beautiful. Hey, I think that makes you a multi-instrumentalist. You got mouth trumpet and guitar.
Oh, that's right.
Well, and stand-up bass. Most importantly, stand-up bass. But mouth trumpet, that's pretty cool.
I've just been dabbling in mouth trumpet. I've played in a band, Sad Daddy, where one of the members is an amazing mouth horn player. He does a great trombone as well as trumpet.
Hayes, your most recent album is "You Get It All," and when you co-produced that with Allison, your wife, and
Actually, Kenny Greenberg co-produced it.
Okay.
Kenny and Allison had been working together for a long time, and so yeah.
So how was it? Was this your first time working with Allison as a producer?
She, the record before was my first time. So the last two of the last three records, she's been a co-producer on. Daryl Scott did the one in between, and yeah, it's being in a relationship with an artist is there's a lot of benefits to it, and it's cool for me to have somebody I respect that I can share my ideas with, and she's good at things that I am not. Like I'm very short attention span, and I have terrible recall. And when I'm trying to describe a musical sound to the band or the engineers or whatever, I'm usually I'm very caveman about it. I just say it louder, or I want more. I make lots of grunts and gesticulations. And she's able to come in and say, I think we're looking for the snare sound on what this Creedence track from 1972, and then the whole band can go, oh, I know what you're trying to say, and so I would play all my ideas for her, and she's able to articulate that and share it to other people in a way that I'm not. So that's a handy thing to have in the studio when you're trying to create with a group of people.
Hayes, can you play us another song?
I'd love to. Do the title track to that last record. It's called "You Get It All." All my tame and all my wild, all my man and all my child, all my faults and all my scars, all my sometimes lucky stars, all my joys and my regrets, all my old Guy Clark cassettes. Yeah, I knew the night we met, you get it all. All my lows and all my highs, all my truth and all my lies, all my rights and all my wrongs, all my from now on love songs, all my future, all my roots, all my worn out cowboy boots that I kick off in the hall. You get it all. And I'd rather drive you crazy, being more than you can stand, than to let you try to love half a man. And all my cards are on the table, and darling, it's your call. But I'm all in, so lose or win, you get it all. All my will be all my was, all my cloud of Texas dust, all my humble, all my bragging, all my on and off the wagon, all my be your place to hide, all my always on your side, all my catch you when you fall, you get it all. And I'd rather drive you crazy, being more than you can stand, than to let you try to love half a man. And all my cards are on the table, and darling, it's your call. But I'm all in, so lose or win, you get it all. All my blessing, all my curse, all my better, all my worse, from the chapel to the hearse, you get it all.
You Get It All, title track from Hayes Carll's most recent release. Another great co-write. You have so many great, of course, all your songs that you write yourself are fantastic, but you have a lot of really terrific co-writes on this album. Is that, have you been doing more of that lately?
It's I started off writing everything by myself. I didn't know anybody else that wrote songs, and then I got lucky early on to, like, my first co-writes were with Ray Wiley Hubbard and Guy Clark, and so I got to really learn from the masters, and they taught me a lot, either just by actually literally telling me, or just watching by example how they operated and worked. And then I got really into that for a long time, where I was co-writing almost everything. I have a hard time finishing the task, and when there's somebody else in the room, it helps me focus and kind of keep the ideas flowing. But at the moment, I'm kind of writing everything on my own. I'm working on another record that I'm hoping to record this spring, and I feel like I got a little away from my own voice. There's something about when you combine with other people, great things can happen, but I lost a little bit about what my point of view was, and so I'm trying to find that again. So I'm doing more writing by myself these days.
I know that you guys mentioned that you might be willing to do, because y'all do a duet together, which is how duets usually work, during the show. Can you share that one?
Sure. This is something that on our last tour, we toured back in the spring, we were just going through song ideas that we liked and thought would be fun to sing together. So we were doing a lot of Brian, a little bit of Dylan, and we were in Little Rock, I think, the first time we played this, and it's from an Arkansas native, Johnny Cash. At my door, the leaves are falling. A cold, wild wind has come. Sweethearts walk by together, and I still miss someone.
I go out on a party and look for a little fun, but I find a darkened corner, 'cause I still miss someone.
Oh, I never got over those blue eyes. I see them everywhere. I miss those arms that held me when all the love was there. And I wonder if she's sorry for leaving what we begun. There's someone for me somewhere, and I still miss someone. Oh, I never got over those blue eyes. I see them everywhere. I miss those arms that held me when all the love was there.
I wonder if she's sorry for leaving what we begun.
There's someone for me somewhere, and I still miss someone, and I still miss someone.
Hayes Carll and Melissa Carper, I Still Miss Someone.
How was my visit today? Oh, it's fantastic. It's my first time in the new studio. The old one I probably went to 20 different times, but it's my first time at the new location, and it was great. Great to see Susan and get to play some music.